Greetings, YouTube. Your favorite DM Fish Suit here, finally back with our second sit-down of Rime of the Frostmaiden. We break these 4-hour sessions up into 2 episodes, so this will be the start of episode 3 for you, but this is our second time meeting. We had some internet issues, so we weren't able to get together for basically like the entire month, so I think we're all excited to get back to our story and get started. If you're enjoying these videos, you can catch these live on my Twitch channel every other Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and you can just watch them here on YouTube. I'm fine with that. I don't take it personally. You can watch them here on YouTube. I appreciate you. The sub on YouTube, the follow on Twitch, both mean a lot. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's get started with Little Frostmaiden. All right, you guys want to play D&D tonight?
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
I thought we were playing video games.
All right, so I'm going to save some of the recap. We're gonna do like a really quick little recap here, just because it's been so long. But as a service to you, we're really men of the people, Vlor. As a service to the people at large, we have been doing. We've done a podcast. We do a podcast, and the next one we do will be this coming Sunday, where we recap both of our on-stream sessions. So if you miss any part of this campaign, or you're missing any part of our other campaign, which is currently the Lost Mine of Phandelver, you can tune into that. We call it Unconscious and Dying, and I hope that we can get some of our players unconscious and dying tonight. But so you guys have been together now for 3 or 4 days. You've traveled from Bryn Shander along the Eastway, and then headed north through Caer Koenig and Caer Dineval. And I think it was Caer Dineval, which was your last civilization here. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's Caer Koenig. Caer Koenig was your last bit of civilization as you headed off on your first sort of quest that you got in Bryn Shander. And the quest was to find a cart that was loaded with ingots that some dwarves had lost when they were attacked by a yeti. You tracked down where the cart was, where one of the dwarves had been killed by the yeti, actually, and that's where they abandoned it. You had seen that the cart had been hauled off. You pursued that and found yourself in a fight with some goblins and their leader. And it was a little... I feel like... I don't know. How did you guys feel about this combat? Did you feel like this was in hand the entire time? What? I'm going to start with you, Vlor, because we talked about it a little on the podcast. But you were kind of keeping some of your character abilities under your hat, and now those have been exposed in some way.
Yeah, I introduced myself to the party as Vlor the Merchant. I didn't say anything about having magic. Nobody knew. But it was... I mean, I don't know how subtly I was with the fog cloud.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that happened like in the surprise. I mean, everybody basically got an action during the surprise round, and yours was to cast this fog cloud over the middle of the battle. We discussed it a little on the podcast, but let's talk about it here as well. Like, how successful do you think that was? Like, what did you want to do with that, and how successful was it?
I feel like it was very successful. I mean, it basically stopped those guys in their tracks. They couldn't really see us. I mean, granted, we couldn't see them, but we at least knew where they were.
So you cast this fog cloud, and then Kindar comes out like a literal demon, basically, and like you one-shotted half of the goblins that were on the cart, I think.
Yeah.
Something like right in the middle of them, and it was one of your what spell was it? It was like Scion Blast or something, like right in the center of them, killed a bunch of them. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Cleo, but did you or did you not kill someone by mocking them?
I definitely
didn't you mock somebody to death during this fight?
I mocked them to death.
Yeah, I thought so. That is a text from my brother. I'm going to give him hell for just texting me and not being here in the stream. Okay, so we basically ended right as this fight was over. So I will turn it over to you guys to see what you'd like to do. The last thing that happened is, and this would have been like everything, all the characters would have seen this. Um, it was guiding bolt. Vlor Gusto cast a guiding bolt and killed and just like singed this fleeing goblin.
Yep.
And the fight is now over. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we really get into it, everybody just leveled up as well. So let's. I'm quickly gonna switch to this scene. This is gonna be a nightmare because I have to upload. I have to change. Sunflower, what's your max HP now?
I thought we updated it on my sheet.
We did. I just didn't update it on our roll bot.
Oh, I think it was 22. I just don't see it on my sheet.
I think it's like 16 or 17.
My new one?
Yeah, because your max HP before was 10. So it's definitely not in the 20. I don't think it's in the 20s.
Okay.
You don't know?
I thought we updated it in the Roll20 sheet or in the D Beyond sheet.
Okay.
But
Let me go over.
I just see it as 17, so let's just go with that.
17? That sounds right. All right, 17. That's the only one I didn't have updated. Okay. All right. Sorry about all the scene stuff. If you're watching this on live or on YouTube, sorry, but we're back. Okay. So yeah, tell me about your levels up. Sunflower, let's start with you. What new stuff does Cleo have? I know she got obviously we just went over the HP, so she's at 17 HP now, which is not nothing. What else do you get as a bard level 2?
I also get the Jack of all trades and the Song of Rest, which is exciting, so I can like heal you guys at like a short rest if needed.
And then the Jack of all trades was really neat because when we were looking at that on Beyond, we were like, what are all these half proficiencies? And you and I were both like, well, we don't know what the hell is this. And Jack of all trades gives Cleo a half proficiency in everything that she wasn't already proficient in. So she gets like a +1 right now that'll stack later in the game. She gets a +1 right now to every ability check that she didn't have a proficiency in. So that's that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's when level 2 is really when your characters start to come online, right? And that's why we kind of, almost at the end of every first session, you're going to level up to level 2 because it's like, it's time to get in, really start exploring your character.
Nice.
Jackson, we haven't heard from you yet. Jordy, hold maximum HP, doubling up your HP. So what's your HP now?
My max is 32.
That is, I quit D&D forever. I have to, guys in chat, I have to deal with a 32 health level 2 barbarian.
Everything I've hit so far has died in that hit. Granted, it took me like 4 hits to kill that one goblin. When I hit it, it did not get up.
Yeah, that goblin really messed you up. I'm looking at your HP right now, and you're sitting at a 3.
Yeah, that was the only issue I had in that combat. If I'd killed that goblin earlier, it probably would have went a lot quicker.
Do you get anything else at level 2 for Barb?
I get Danger Sense, which allows me to take advantage on any dex saves that I can see coming.
Nice. And so that would be like if somebody's casting a spell that requires a dex save, or if there's...
Yeah, or like, say there's like a landslide or something.
Flying at you, exactly.
And I get Reckless Attack, which allows me to take advantage of my next attack and take advantage on the next attacks on me the round afterwards.
Now, when do you get Great Weapon Fighting?
Well, I can take Great Weapon Fighting at level 4 as a feat.
Okay. All right, very cool. Anything else of interest at level 2?
Nope.
I think that's it for now. Zund, Kindar, level 2 Kindar, level 2
Yes.
Scientist. We decided to give you, I made a DM decision to give you a little bit more HP because I just felt like a level 2 character sitting out there at 11 HP made me a little nervous. So we gave Kindar 14 HP. Anything else interesting that comes online for you at level 2?
The augmentations, that's the exciting thing for the scions, which are essentially a way that you can adapt an ability. One of them is actually kind of an ability in its own. So for example, I did add one that's called Mind's Reach, and so I can double the range of a spell by spending a mentality point, which is a special thing that Scions have that they can use to spend these augmentations. Or if there's a range of touch, I can actually give it range of 30 by spending 2 mentality points. And then the other one that I got was a something that can help protect us. It was kind of an AoE protection for us. And then I also got a 3rd spell at this level. So
Cool. Yeah. So we were looking at the we were looking at the points that you have, and you start with, you have 2 mentality points right now that you can use, right? Like per long rest, kind of. And then that'll eventually stack up as well, so you'll be able to do that. We also kind of talked about, since Zund is doing this kind of homebrew class, that for the first couple levels at least, if he's not really liking those augmentations, I'll let him switch those out for some of the other augmentations that they might have. So if he's finding that they're just really useless and he's not seeing much use for them, well, I'm gonna allow him to switch those out when he levels. So at level 3, we'll hear from Zund whether he likes what he's got or not. And last and least, Floor, let's talk to me about Gusto's level 2.
Well, not a whole lot of exciting stuff going on for Gusto. He gained another level, another spell slot, I mean. But the biggest thing is the Channel Divinity. Clerics, of course, can do the Turn Undead. But with the level 2, most of them also get an additional feature that they can use with their Channel Divinity. And I got Destructive Wrath, which basically allows me to deal maximum damage with lightning or thunder because I'm a Tempest. Whenever I do lightning or thunder damage, I can just do maximum instead of
Wow. Great. Moving on. And your max HP is 17 now?
19.
19, okay. So literally everybody's under 20, and then Jordy has 32 HP. I mean, character-wise, it makes sense, because he's this, burly dwarf, right? Like, I don't know. It makes sense to me.
So am I at max health, or did I just add my hit die to it? Since I got 32.
Would you, like, are you currently at max health in the game? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because everyone else got the max. I guess since I got 32, I guess it wouldn't make sense that all of a sudden I'm like twice as strong.
I mean, it's your class. It's your class. You rolled well. I mean, I roll for HP. It's good. I mean, it's a good thing for you. I'm just being a salty DM because it's going to be hard for me to do any kind of damage to you with 32 health. But we'll find a way.
I mean, until long rest, I don't have to.
Right now you have 3 HP. So suddenly, 40 orcs rush in and murder you. Everybody create a new character. So I apologize. I forgot that we need to talk about the level up. So this fight just ended. You guys all leveled up. You have all that new stuff at your disposal. Nobody heals, but if you gained a spell slot or you learned a new spell, you do have access to that right away. You don't regain any spell slots that have previously been used, and you don't heal up your HP. But here you are. You just saw Gusto murder this goblin. Please, what would you like to do?
Well, we got the bears to deal with. Well, first I grabbed my flavor cloak that I threw off when I raged.
Okay.
Grab that, even though it doesn't make much of a difference. I have an axe over there and a shrub. But there's also a bear right there.
So you take it. So Jordy takes like a minute or two to. Are you just like? I can see him just
I guess,
walking along the battlefield, like.
Yeah, can I get like over here without the bears assaulting me?
Yeah. So do you want to?
Still...
As you walk over there, Jordy, why don't you give me a perception check? It's the first time you sort of, from the heat of battle, where you've been able to kind of survey your surroundings here. An 8. All right. You can now see the front of the wagon. You see that the bears are, in these tied in harnesses, pulling this war wagon. They're idle. They're not like chomping at the bit or anything like that. And you can see that it looks like the wagon might be listing to one side, like away from you. So the wagon's like tipping slightly away from where you're standing right now. That's what you can see.
Okay. Well, grab my hand axe.
Okay, out of
Oh,
this
this
guy's.
tree that I missed.
Oh, right, you missed. Okay.
Yeah, then that's why Lord did the guiding bolt, because I missed, and that was like the last chance.
Right, because
kill
he
him.
was running away.
Yeah. So yeah, grab that, and gotta do something about the bears.
I'm gonna go
Um.
pick up my crossbow.
Or
Oh
we
yeah,
can
right
just
there.
let him go.
As
We
the
should look inside. We should
as-
see what's inside the wagon.
Yeah, let's go inside the wagon.
Yeah, I guess they can't pull the wagon. Looks like the wagon's like a little damaged, so I don't think they could pull it anyway.
Maybe it's just stuck.
Let's
I-
find out.
Well, do
I
we
climb
want
up
him?
to the top of the wagon
I'm
and
gonna-
search the body of the one that's still up there, and then kick it off for the bears.
Yeah, should we like loot all these dead guys too?
Sure. Let me tell you
that
about
guy.
the loot situation here. All of the goblins just have like standard goblin stuff. So let me tell you what that is. These are your standard, your regular old standard run of the mill 5e goblins. All of the goblins have a scimitar and a short bow. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 short bows, 8 scimitars. And they also all have leather armor and a small shield. The goblin boss, however, has 2 potions.
Oops, sorry. My phone fell.
Has 2 potions and a sealskin pouch that contains 13 silver, 25 copper, and a bone whistle. And among the other goblins, you find 24 copper pieces among them all.
Okay.
Do we want to just deal with that later, or do you guys want to divide that, or?
I would prefer if you guys divided the loot off screen, unless there's something like role play you want to do with it.
Cool.
So I just posted everything that you just found in the Discord, and I'll try to keep that going as well.
Awesome.
I'll hold on to it.
I'm like, I'll hold on to it.
No, I'll hold on to it. I think you've held on to a few things
How
more
about
than you should.
How about Jordy hold on
Indar
to it?
hold on to it? Oh,
Jordy
I'll hold on to
is
it.
big and mighty, and it'll take a while for him to go down and for that to come off him. So I think you should hold on to it.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so 2 potions, a bone whistle, the sealskin pouch with the money, and then all the money. That's what you find on the bodies.
So when I kick this one off the top, do the bears eat it?
They kind of sniff at it. You kick it over, they kind of sniff at it, but they don't look like they're ravenous or anything like that.
So we should just let him go, or check the cart and have them pull us somewhere.
I think this whistle might be for the bears.
We should probably load these ingots up into this cart and then ride this into town.
Load what into the cart?
The ingots. Because weren't the goblins pulling
Yes.
the ingots?
Yeah, you have a pretty large cart of ingots that was being pulled by the goblins, just not pictured, but it's right there or so.
Then yes.
Didn't one of the goblins have like a horn that they blew into?
I
go
can't
over the
remember.
other
I can't remember whether they did or not.
I feel like one of them was on the Okay.
I think so. I think someone they like when we first started fighting, one of the ones on top blew
Blew the
something, and then
whistle.
the boss came out.
Right, and
Was
then
that the whistle or was that all? Was it a horn?
gotcha. We're gonna go ahead and even if I said it was a horn, we're gonna retcon that it was the whistle.
Okay.
So he saw you guys, blew the whistle, and then the boss came out basically, and then started to pursue and enter the fray.
Okay.
Gusto, why don't you give me a perception check there from on top of the wagon?
Ooh. Perception.
$22. Yeah, so you can definitely see that like this wagon is listing really hard to one side, and as you look down on that side that's sort of facing away from you and the party from where our vantage point is here on the map, you can see that the front wheel is like really damaged and the back wheel is completely broken on that side. Looks like they were trying to go over this frozen creek and the wheel got jammed and basically broke both the wheels on that side of the wagon.
I knew what happened to be a carpenter.
What do you?
Sunflower's like, well, I'm a jack of all trades, so.
I have stone cutting now, wood cutting. I don't think.
What does the bottom of the carriage look like?
Peek in there, it's just like filthy. It's like, there's been almost a dozen goblins basically staying in this wagon. They have little hammocks on the inside. This is a 2-story wagon, so it's pretty tall, probably about 10 feet tall. It's filthy. It's disgusting. There's maybe some more rusted weapons inside, but beyond that, they were basically just like crossing the land, scouring for any kind of wealth, and they happened upon this cart or pulling it.
What if we took a short rest and I can heal us in the cart, and then we can let the polar bears go? Just a thought.
Yeah, I don't think I want to leave the polar bears around. I imagine they wouldn't be too happy if you just left them hooked up for an hour while we chilled in there.
Well, I mean, we can let them go first.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Before we go and let them go, I'd like to walk up to one and try and pet it.
Okay, I need you to make a animal handling check.
My God, I want to pet a polar bear.
A 5. Yeah, so you start to get closer, Gusto, and you feel that both of the polar bears become outwardly hostile to you. They assume a pose of hostility. They begin to growl at you. You can see the hair on the back of their neck stand up. They get low to the ground.
Vlor, what are you doing? Are you trying to kill yourself?
Oh, I'm not worried.
Alright, so we agreed on letting the polar bears go?
Yes.
Who's
going to be the
this?
one to do it?
Who's going to drag this tray of ingots or sled of ingots?
I guess Jordy will.
Because I'm sure this has got to weigh a ton.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it does weigh. The sled itself weighs 300 pounds, and the iron ingots add another 600 pounds of weight to it. Yeah. A single goblin can push or drag 240 pounds. So you figure a level 2 barbarian could probably haul that. And you guys could also help him in some way.
Oh, okay.
A single Geordie could probably carry it.
Yeah, he
It's
could.
about
He
one
just
Geordie's worth of
hike it up on your shoulder like a rug, like an area rug, and just get it out of there.
Yeah, I offer to help because I want nothing more than to take these goods with us so I can get money out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Okay, so we have there's a few suggestions. It sounds like to me, it sounds like you guys want to maybe take a short rest here, and you also want to free the polar bears.
Yes.
Okay, so are we gonna try? You want to try to free the polar bears first?
Yeah, I don't think they would be happy cooped up there for a short rest.
All
Yeah,
right.
let's
I mean,
set 'em
it's just
free.
another hour.
Who
Kind of
would
simple.
Well, I mean, it doesn't
Yeah,
hurt
what
to
if we
let them go
what if we set
first.
them free and then they come attack us while we're resting?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
I guess that's true.
I mean,
I
they're
thought-
pretty aggressive.
Well, maybe if you rolled a little higher.
It's like, do I have any
You
food
had to
on
add
me that I
save
can
them.
give them?
That would be a good point if we could find like food in there and like toss it.
Do
Like if we break them free and then like toss some food, like maybe some
Yeah,
rotten goblin food in there.
Yeah, can we check the wagon for any kind of like food to give them?
Yeah, there is like some like sort of rotting meat on the wagon. But this is real. You can tell this is really like sort of like a scouting vehicle almost. Like they put the goblins in here. They would hunt for whatever their food was. This isn't like there's not a lot of storage. This is a war wagon essentially that they moved across. And were able to have this like mobile, battle station kind of deal.
What if we move a couple goblins over by the polar bears in case they got hungry?
Sure, you can definitely do that.
Talk to some goblins over there. Like
There's a
Jordy
beast
just
plunder
like
now.
since Jordy's just drawing, he just like grabs them, just like literally tosses them over there. Like, goes over, tosses them.
Were there any spare wheels for the wagon?
No.
Yeah, I guess since they were scouting, they probably didn't bring much, and because they're goblins, they probably didn't care about them.
Yeah, goblins aren't exactly like the. All right, let's go over the travel checklist.
What if Jordy got on his hands and knees and just kind of like carried the half of the wagon that wasn't
I mean, he does have. Yeah, literally, all of you guys do have superpowers, right? So it's not that far fetched.
I was hoping that maybe either we could turn the carriage into maybe like a sled or something like that where the polar bears could pull it.
Maybe it would take a little bit of handiwork there.
Just have to chop off a couple wheels and then maybe we'd be pushing in the back a little bit to help. It's too much for them.
Yeah, they seem like they're as powerful as a single Geordie each.
It's a unit measurement.
Yes, and it probably weighs, I don't know, a couple of leaves.
Oh yeah, quite a few Lord Leafs, I would imagine. Fish tank inside jokes.
But I don't feel like any of us really have anything that would work for
Repairing
doing
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, even if Sunflower, why don't you give me a nature check? Why
Okay.
don't you roll roll nature? Because you're like, man, maybe we can find something to repair this nearby, right? Because you're in kind of a wooded area. An 11. Yeah, you just all these like trees around here really, they're not so much trees as they are like brush, tall brush, maybe a few small evergreens in here, but you don't get the feeling that there's anything that's going to be nearby that would help you to repair this wagon.
I mean, we could always we can still carry all the stuff that we need with just if we help, right?
You as a party can absolutely move the wagon without any outside help.
No, like all the ingot or whatever.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
anything
I'm
valuable.
sorry. You're right. I should have said the sled. Yes, you guys can move that sled with the ingots on it without
So we
any
don't really
other
need the-
assistance.
So screw this wagon. It's just sitting there. It's a pile of junk.
Yeah, I was just hoping not to have to walk.
Yeah, because that's always
Walking
worse.
never hurt anyone.
We walked this far.
Now we have to walk back.
Jordy looks down at himself as he has his 3 health.
Yeah, you're like bleeding or like your arm is just like hanging limply at your side. You're like, guys, I could probably use a short rest here.
That means I was
Alright,
like
so-
footballing those goblins. Just a little spiral to them.
So I want to go inside of the wagon for cover then.
Okay.
We should probably move the sled stuff into the wagon to protect it, or are we
over
just
to
leaving
the
it?
wagon.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
already in the wagon? Okay.
We'd move it over to the wagon. No sense in like loading it into the wagon.
So
Put it under
I
the
imagine
wagon.
this moment where you guys are like about to take this rest in the wagon, and Cleo's like, all right, yeah, I think we just need to move the sled a little closer to the wagon then. And then there's a moment of silence, and then everybody just looks at Jordy.
He's just like,
One limp arm. That can't do anything.
oh. Guess that's my job. You just kind of like a peg leg walks over there.
Hauls it over, and so yeah, you move it a little bit closer to the wagon now. It's right next to it. It was about 40 feet away. Now it's right up next to it.
Sounds good. Time for a rest.
Yes, I want to use my Song of Rest so I can heal. Unless you want to do a long rest. What kind of a rest are we doing? Just a short rest with the Song of Rest? Is that what we were thinking of?
probably.
Or just a long rest?
Like, what time of day is it?
Dark.
Snowy.
Yeah, I would
Perpetual dark.
say that it is just past. It is actually getting later in the evening. It is actually getting later. You guys left Caer Konig in the morning. Traveled. You remember you ran into some wolves, so you had that fight. Then you went through a blizzard. Found the where the sled originally was, tracked it here, and then had this fight. So that's been your day. It is getting later into the evening.
So does that mean you guys think we should long rest?
We could do that.
Yeah,
and
I'm
take
pretty
watches.
tired.
I agree that a long rest is probably the better
Yeah.
idea.
Because everyone gets their spell slots back.
Cool. Let's do that then.
Cool. So you mentioned setting up watches.
Yeah, is there maybe like I don't know how much a difference it would make, but like tying the sled to like the wagon, so if someone did try to like take it in the dark, it would be a little moderately more difficult. Like they just can't take the whole sled, so if they steal something, you can only steal some of it.
Yeah, you could definitely take a few minutes to tie it off to like the wheel or like the axle of the wagon, so that you would at least hear somebody trying to get at it right in the middle of the night. Would you guys want to do? Would you guys want to do a fire here? You could probably. Sunflower just did that nature check, even though she doesn't think that there's enough stuff to repair the wagon. There's enough probably wood around here that you could light a fire if you wanted.
It would
It is going to be
draw
cold.
attention. Yeah.
Were there doors on this wagon?
Yeah, there's like a door in the back, and then there's like a door that's on like a little balcony on the second story of it. But those are the only two you can maybe like a goblin could probably climb in through the window where you would sit to drive the wagon. You know what I mean? Like backwards into the wagon, you could probably get into there. But the only like sort of official entrances are those two.
Is there any kind of holes in the roof?
There's a hatch that would allow you to that's how those goblins stepped out onto the roof.
We can set a fire in the wagon itself, and just have the hatch open on top so that we have airflow and that the smoke can go out. That way, it's not light around for people to see us, but we can stay warm.
Yeah, and there will always be someone up to watch the fire, so we
Yep.
don't burn alive.
All right, so anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. All the party died of carbon monoxide inhalation. They found him there years later. Yeah, so you get the benefits of the long rest. I'm not going to make you
Before
set up your watches, but yes, please, Flora, go ahead.
before we start our watches, I take Cleo to the side and I'd say to her, so the feather was really precious to me, and I know you're hiding some information. I'd like you to divulge that information.
Look,
And
buddy, we just met.
I cast command.
Oh, no.
Divulge.
She gets a save against that, correct?
Yes. It is a 13 wisdom.
Okay, Sunflower, make a wisdom saving throw, please.
I'm spacing right now. How do I do? Okay, so +0. So that's just a D20.
Yep. And it's a DC what, Flora?
It's only a 13.
Okay,
but-
DC 13. Here we go. This is a big boy. This is a big boy roll here, Sunflower.
It's a +0 with wisdom.
Yeah. As Gusto casts command. Oh no, it's a natural 1. All right, so yeah, so you have to divulge now. He asked you for information and he commanded you to divulge, and you failed your saving throw. So you have to tell him what you know about the feather, basically. Oh, you're muted.
My bad. It has to be about the feather.
Yeah, because that's what he told you to divulge. It sucks so bad.
I just looked down because I'm so disappointed in myself. I'm actually just so in the game. And I just say, look, man, we just met. I didn't know that we would be going all these adventures together. And I pull out the feather and I say, I don't know what this was anyway. Here's your stupid feather back. And I give it back to him.
All right. Sunflower, remove it from your character sheet. Flora, add the feather back to your character sheet. All right.
Did we see this happen? Did I see this happen?
Yeah, I was about to ask that too.
How did you take her aside, Flora? How did Gusto take her aside?
Well, I guess it would really depend on our watches.
Yeah, I would say like this is sort of before any watch began. Maybe you guys are just like all eating or something like that, you know.
Or as the watches were going, I would make sure that my watch coincides with hers.
Okay. Yeah, I would think that this is that Gusto probably would have kept this from both Kindar and Jordy. He would have been careful enough to keep that conversation private.
Yeah, she can respect that you pulled her aside and didn't just make a big scene making her look dumb like she's not smart. She has a reputation to uphold.
All right, anything else before we get the benefits of your long rest here, guys?
I had to use that spell. I had one spell slot left.
Perfect. All right, so everybody gets your long rest. You get your spell slots back, and please go ahead and give yourself maximum HP in the chat bot. And you get through the night. The polar bears are still out there. They've eaten a few of the goblins overnight. And you heard some, like maybe some animals throughout the night, but nothing stirred the sled. Nothing stirred the wagon while you were getting your long rest in there.
Nice.
And now we really see that 32 on Jordy. Oh, I just threw up in my mouth. Okay. All right. Start of a new day. Here you
And it got 2
are.
rages back.
Oh, rages, yes. Kindar gets his spell slots. Cleo gets her spell slots. Yeah, you guys are in good shape. Start off the day.
All right. So I guess we will cut these polar bears loose and then head
I
out.
want to try to cut them loose. Can I cut the polar bear loose?
Yeah, so as you approach the polar bear, please roll an animal handling check.
Okay. I keep going to grab like a real die in front of me, and then I keep forgetting. Like I keep physically grabbing. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, with a 7, Cleo gets close to the bears, and they also appear aggressive. You don't feel safe approaching them. You feel like you're going to be attacked if you try to get any closer.
Okay.
So are they hitched to like here, like on the front here?
Yes, they are tied by harnesses to the front of the wagon.
All right. So could I like get up here and just like break the front that's attached to them? Oh,
I have a
hear
good
cat.
idea. I have a mage hand cantrip, which just makes a hand appear that can go and untie them or like do whatever it needs to do.
I like to think Jordy was up there, like hammer, like ready to just like smash where it is connected, and he hears like a gas. He's
Just
like,
so
"Whoop."
that no one can get hurt. I don't know, just a thought. But you can totally smash away if you so want.
No, that's a better idea. I just didn't see a better way than that's the closest I could get while still setting them free. But Mage Hand is a lot easier.
Okay, so I want to cast my mage hand cantrip, and I want to like unravel them with the hand as best as I can.
What do you think? Yeah, so you get. I imagine Cleo getting up on top of the wagon, kind of where Jordy is, and like Jordy's about to like slice through, and you step up and like put a hand on his shoulder. And you're like, "Let me try something," and you cast your mage hand there from the top of the wagon. What does your mage hand look like? Because it looks different for everybody who uses it. Like for instance, Kindar has a mage hand as well, but his is invisible.
I picture it just being like really like sparkly and just like this really like misty looking, like same color as my hair, like really magenta looking like,
Okay.
hand.
And so it moves forward and it unties the harnesses from these bears, and it takes them a minute to like realize that they're actually not tied up anymore. And the one immediately bounds off, and the other one like looks back, grabs a goblin, and then also runs off.
Yeah, they get a snack. For the road.
Yeah, he took a road goblin with him.
The road goblin. Probably frozen road goblin at this point.
It'll stay fresher longer.
Or it just disappeared.
All right.
So, we're planning on dragging this with us? Is that our plan right now?
Yes.
I think just the sled part, not the whole wagon.
Yeah, just the sled with the ingots.
Should we throw a goblin on the sled just in case we encounter those polar bears again?
That's not a bad idea. Goblin's not too heavy.
Mini Bulba's carrying like a macabre collection of goblin parts in our other campaign. He's got like goblin arms and legs and a skull. I don't know. It's real creepy.
Does he like have them from like the first?
Yes,
session?
he has goblin. He literally on his character sheet has a number of goblin arms listed as in his inventory. Okay, so plan, if I'm hearing correctly, is then we want to try to head back to civilization, Care Koenig. Is that right?
The initial place we started?
Yeah, so the last bit of civilization that you had before you went off into the wilderness.
Like the closest town we can get to.
Yeah, so
we can get to an actual road.
Let's show you the
just
Icewind Dale map here. All right.
Aren't we like there?
Yep, you are. Yeah, that's really close to you. You guys are roughly right there. The specter of Kelvin's cairn is ever present here. It's like a monument that stands, that looms above you. Um, Jordy, I imagine Jordy starting off the sled, right? You're starting off.
Yeah,
Maybe take the
I
first
figured it'd be
shift.
like I'm in the front and then like two people, one person on each side, then one person in the back, I'd assume.
Okay. As you begin to push the sled that day, you're like wearing everybody's wearing like a thick parka, right? Like your cold weather clothes. And as you start to push, you can like feel in your your shoulders, Jordy, that you like the fabric is like ripping in your cold weather clothes. You can feel it. It doesn't like fall off, doesn't turn into rags, but you can feel like the thread be like ripping.
If I push this spark a smidge closer, it's gone.
Yeah, like if you like hulked out, you might not be wearing a parka anymore. But that's all. That's all that happens. So it took you about a half a day or so of travel to get out here. Do you want to try to make a beeline towards Kerkonig, or would you like to backtrack for how you originally got to here? Basically, you'd be blazing new trail if you tried to beeline to Kerkonig, whereas you've established the other trail kind of, and you could backtrack your way there. What would you like to do?
I mean, I guess backtrack would be best. I feel like a lot of time we took because we got lost in that blizzard at first. So I feel like backtracking won't take us as long when we first got out there. Like we won't get lost unless there's no blizzard. Whereas if we take a new path, it's more likely to get something to happen.
It's always the
I
danger.
wouldn't mind. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind heading back towards the cities we already were going towards anyway.
So since my winter clothes started ripping, is it possible for me to just like not wear it for a bit and like take shifts? Like say I'd go for like 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm cold. I gotta put this on. Two other people need to pull this instead.
Sure. Anytime
like-
you're out in there, just keep this in mind, Jackson, is that anytime you're out in there and you're not wearing your cold weather clothes, you're going to have to make checks against it. And
Okay.
if you fail any of your checks while you're making this,
You get exhaustion.
you get layers of exhaustion. And eventually, it's not right away, but eventually being too exhausted, you will die. Your character will die.
Can us three carry it without Jordy carrying it?
Yeah, you guys could push it for sure. Yeah.
Then I vote that we just push it and not let his clothes rip. But that's just my thought.
I say we take shifts.
That's because this don't have to be like out in the cold for like a certain amount of time.
Yeah, it's not that long.
It is
Hour or so. Half hour.
let's see where the checks start to happen. Yeah, every hour. So if you're not wearing your clothes for the full hour, basically you'd have to make the check.
We could do an hour on and an hour off. That way you can wear your clothes whenever you're not pulling.
But then he has to do checks.
Book Fair suggests like an ice pack, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off.
How many of us does it take to carry this?
Reasonably, any two of you could probably push the sled. Whether
Kindar,
you
would you push this sled with me?
If all four of us are pushing it, then do any of ours tear?
Well, you haven't tried yet. I mean, you guys are just getting moving. I can imagine that Jordy has started to move the cart. So you guys are on the road here. You guys are moving. He's still wearing his cold weather clothes. He might not have even shared that the clothes ripped, or that he felt like they were the structural integrity of his clothes were not there.
I would think like once he felt that he would probably stop because he's aware that like if he's been out here in the cold before, so like if he doesn't have those clothes, he knows he's screwed. So I would think if he felt it, like heard that like like when you feel something stretch.
Mm-hmm,
he'd
yep,
probably
too
stop.
far. So you think he'd stop? You think he'd stop
I
and
think
be
he'd
like,
stop
would he tell the party?
because, yeah, I mean, he's lived out here, so he definitely knows he needs to stay warm. Yeah, he would tell the party, be like, alright, I felt my parka start to tear. If this parka comes off, it will not be good for me out here in the cold.
Maybe Flora is one of those handy dandy warming potions.
Unfortunately, I traded them for this wonderful gear.
And Augusto, as you say wonderful gear, the entire right sleeve of your parka falls off.
Mm. I pick it back up and put it back on my arm.
I offer to just help carry the sled so that no one else's clothes break if someone else can help me.
I think I see a theme here.
So
Either
Sunflower,
his clothes are
as
bad.
Cleo steps forwards and be like, all right, we gotta get the sled moving, you can also just feel, and then one by one, everybody's parkas just kind of almost disintegrate into rags. It rip off of you. Every seam basically is ripped down, and all of you find yourself without cold weather clothing.
What a ripoff.
Quite literally. It all ripped off.
Is there a way we can finagle some of the rags so at least like one or two people can have some protection?
What kind of check would you like to do on that?
I don't know like what check it would be.
Will you tell me how you're gonna do this?
I don't know like what people have on them that we could use to try like put them together.
A quick question. At what point would these things start tearing? Like how far into the day after we got up?
Gotcha. Yeah, it's relatively soon in the day. It is, maybe you've only been traveling for less than 2 hours, I would say, when Jordy notices that this happens to his clothes, and then one by one all of you realize that these parkas that had previously been keeping you warm basically fell apart.
I was just thinking that if it was early enough, I could have sat down and done my little meditation thing to change out my prepared spells to a mending spell.
Gosh, if only.
Yeah. If only. It was just after, so I'm sure that I would have done that before we set out.
Right, you would have prepared your morning spells while you were having breakfast and getting prepared to leave, for sure.
Yeah.
Is anyone a tailor? By any chance?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
I do have an extra set of fine clothes. Would that
Gusta's like, I am ready for the party.
would that include a coat?
Fine clothes would include a coat? Yeah, I think so. But you really, you are in negative 45 degrees Celsius weather. It is, I don't think a fancy coat is, you need warm weather gear. And up until a few moments ago, you thought you had it.
But it would still go over what I have and make me warmer than everybody else.
That's true. You're still going to have to make checks. If you're trying to get out of making saving throws, I don't see that happening. You need a very specific thing in order to avoid freezing to death out here, and that is warm weather clothes.
Well,
Do I-
that would be fancier.
Cold resistance is if I'm an part animal.
I don't think so. I think I probably would have noted that on your character sheet. She's
Maybe-
resistant to cold.
Wow, your legs don't freeze, but your torso with all your organs.
Yeah, your hooves
My
don't
nice
freeze.
furry legs are good.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean,
All right, what would you like to do here, guys? This is this has kind of gone from 0 to 60 now. This is now what was kind of a leisurely walk is now more of an emergency.
How far do we have to go?
Is a fire considered an object?
Well, it depends if the torch, it would be a torch or would it be like a campfire?
I guess it'd be a campfire. I don't think it's heavy. Wait, do I? Well, torch wouldn't. Does torch provide any warmth?
Does it provide any warmth? I mean, for your hands for a little bit, but it's not going to take the chill away in your body.
I guess this is like beyond freezing.
I say we just keep going.
Keep on trucking.
But yeah, I mean, it's
Keep
con save, so like Jordy has the best chance of being fine. That's why I was wondering if I could try to salvage something for whoever has the lowest con.
I mean, I would give something like that to you, Jordy, if you could tell me how you're going to do it. I would at least allow you to try, but it sounds like nobody really has any of the stuff that you would need.
I don't think Jordy would be like. I would have to confer like with others because I don't think Jordy would have anything to do that, but someone else might. I don't know, like.
And it sounds like everybody else is
someone's-
kind of like, we don't know. You just don't have the stuff. You weren't prepared to come out here and have a wardrobe malfunction.
What if? Okay, what if I have that vial that I gave to Cleo? I believe I mentioned what it was.
You told her it was hair oil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hair oil.
I don't think Cleo probably trusts that too much anymore.
If I could, I would mention, ask for the hair oil, and kind of pour it on, the chest piece of at least Jordy's, gear.
So I don't think Jordy has a chest piece. So you
It would
just
just
rub
be
it
on my
on his
chest.
nude chest. All
Okay,
right, so
I take
just for
some-
canon purposes, you're greasing Jordy's chest up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I take some of the oil and I pour it in my hands and I rub it like this and I rub it on Jordy's chest while looking over at Lauren. Like, is this what you wanted?
I just said I have the best chance of getting through this.
And then I rub the rest on the open parts of me. But not the rest of the oil, just the rest that was on my hands.
So what is the oil?
So the oil is basically a little bit of oil, but a lot of lard.
Gotcha. Okay, that's right. You did tell us that.
To kind of help with the insulation, and I'm sure that you could probably stick patches of the
Oh
gear
God,
up to it.
Jordy, this has gone from bad to worse.
Jordy didn't even ask for any of this. Like Jordy's just sitting there and he's like, I got an idea, just throw it in. He's just like,
Because
What?
it's gonna get cold and congeal, and I feel like it would be a bit of an insulator.
All right, I just rolled a d4. Jordy, that means you're going to be able to skip 2 con checks. So you'll be able to skip 2 checks.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll just a d2 in chat here for Sunflower, who has a little bit on her arms and hands.
Guess that
Sunflower,
makes-
you get 1 hour from that you just rubbed on you that you don't have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I want to take a little bit. Kinder, are you clothed?
Are you decent?
After that, I put back on my common clothes after our clothes dehydrated.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I just take some in my hand and I say, "Don't worry, it's just water," and I give you some of the oil too.
Yeah, I don't think that there's enough.
There's not enough at all. It's the
So
rest
we're,
of it?
we
Okay.
we gave Jordy like a good what'd you get? You got 2 hours, and you yourself got 1 hour, but this was like a little vial of hair oil. So
Okay.
I have the best con checks.
You want
I guess if I
to
get
chest bump
exhausted, it would be
Kindar?
the
Try to get some of the rub off.
Well,
I
if
was
one
just
of
gonna
us
say
starts to
bear
pass
hug.
out and start dying, then we can just throw them on the cart.
I'm the
Yeah, I have
And
Oh yeah.
best chance of pulling them
Yeah.
plus the cart. I guess that makes sense.
Does that goblin that we brought with us have any clothes that we can wear?
He has like a leather armor that's
Can we-
small sized for him.
can we cut open his stomach and hide inside?
This body that's been sitting like in
Yeah,
the
it
cold
is.
for
Yeah, it's
over
frozen
8
solid.
hours.
I mean, he's literally frozen solid.
Oh,
So
it probably
Alright,
stinks
so-
worse on the inside.
He has a really comical look on his face too, like really scared, like frozen solid.
Can two of us cuddle for body heat while the other two push?
Yeah, you just this is the type of cold that just cuts through you. So it's I don't know if
I think
anybody's
for that
ever
to work-
experienced negative 49 degrees Fahrenheit, but it is
The
not.
only way that would work is
pleasant.
like if everyone was in a constant hug.
And you were next to a
moved
fire.
as that.
Yeah, right.
If
Everybody
moved
huddle.
as one.
Because
That does work in the wild, but they don't move while doing that. They literally just sit there. And that's it. We'd have to
I
just-
say that we stack the ingots in a way that we can have a little hole in the center and gather up some firewood and make a fire.
it's not a bad idea.
and keep the scraps. Because I'm gonna have a word with that merchant when we get back.
Oh, I have my receipt. Don't worry. But if you remember correctly, I traded some vials for that. So, I mean, they were-
Jordy doesn't know that. Jordy is not happy.
okay.
Jordy is pissed.
I'm gonna mock him to death.
And he's covered with like a goop now as well.
He's like lubed up like Hakan from Street Fighter, where he just takes that whole barrel and just dumps it on him. It's just Jordy now. There's like patches of clothes on him, I guess.
All right, so you're gonna try to stack the ingots in a way where you can have a fire going on the sled.
Yeah, have kind of a base underneath where we can set the wood on top of, and then have some ingots stacked around it, kind of like a fire pit, so that the wind doesn't really blow it out, but we could still get some heat. And it should also heat up the ingots so that we can have some heat radiating off the ingots.
Great idea, except for one small detail. What wood?
That's true. We already left where we were.
Oh.
Yeah, could we look around
It's
the
2 hours
vicinity
in.
and see if there's any trees or
Sure.
wood in
I'll
the
allow
area?
you guys one nature check. So whoever has the highest nature bonus, one nature check. I'm gonna make it DC 15. You guys are in the tundra.
Not I. My
I
plus
have
0.
3.
Wait, I have an idea. What if we put in our crappy parkas as Kinder or whatever it's called?
I think we'd still need wood to like keep it
You don't
going.
think that would just light on fire? I don't know.
It would, but it wouldn't last long.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could light the scraps on fire, but it would not really. It would be like out in several minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so who's doing our nature check?
I mean, we can always just light Jordy on fire.
It's like Boom said. He has 32 health. He can survive some time on fire.
Oh yeah,
Well,
why don't we?
I mean, does it
what's our-
cancel
what's our-
out?
You can
on fire.
rage as well. You'll take half damage.
I don't have resistance to fire.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, that was a
Once
thought.
again, I have to.
It was a good
I
thought,
have
though.
plus 4 to con.
Does it balance out with the cold?
everybody's like, what about Jordy? And Jordy's like, guys, I'm fine. No, guys, really.
He's literally the limit out here.
Guys, no,
both
really, I'm fine.
Meta-wise and background-wise, he's the best suited for getting through the cold.
What is
No.
the material of like the shield and the like short bows that we got from the goblins?
Shield metal. Short bows, you could definitely burn the short bows, but again, it's going to be a amount of fuel problem, because you could burn the short bows, you might get 30 minutes out of them, maybe slightly longer, but you know, it's not going to be like the amount of wood that you would need to really sustain a fire as to what Vlor is describing.
Okay.
How about? Let me check this before I suggest it. Never mind, it wouldn't work.
Great. I'm glad we thought about it, though.
Yeah. I mean, I could Sacred Flame you guys, but it would just do damage and not actually provide heat.
Yeah, it's radiant.
I mean, because it's a cantrip and
Hurts
I could just
Kindar
continue
extra
using
base.
it.
Ow, that really smarted. That really did damage. Okay, guys. Clock's ticking. What are we doing?
So who's making the nature check? Did we make that yet?
I don't think so.
Mine's 3.
Anybody got a higher than a 3 bonus to their nature?
I have a 0.
All right. Kindar.
All right.
It's all on you, buddy. This is a DC 15 nature check.
So 1d20 plus 3. Is
You
that
got
what-
it. Yep. First roll of the day here, Zune, I think.
Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money, big money.
Oh, no, sir. No, you're unable to find any. Again, you're on the tundra, so it's like you scout around, try to find some brush or anything, but you just can't find anything, Kindar.
It was worth a shot.
Looks like we just need to tough it out.
Yeah, we gotta get trucking.
Okay. Okay, so you're getting trucking, and I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Except for Sunflower and Jordy, you guys skip this one. Sunflower, you'll have to make the next one. Jordy, you get one more for free after this. So Gusto and Kindar with a con save, please. Gusto, you are fine. You're fine. Your coat, your fancy coat that you're wearing, cuts out the cold there for a minute. And Kindar, you actually are fine as well. You managed to shake off the cold for this first hour of travel. Unfortunately, the amazing luck that you've had so far today is not going to hold out. Because during your second hour of travel, you encounter another... It's not exactly a blizzard. It's not snowing, but anybody who has lived in a snowy area before knows what when the wind picks up and starts blowing the snow that's on the ground already. So it's essentially like you guys are in a blizzard, but it's not really coming down. The snow isn't getting thicker pack on the ground. It is just...
It's like a sandstorm, but with snow.
Yeah, it is just like so windy, and it's picking up the loose snow on the ground from the snow, that's basically constant. And so, yeah, you are, for all intents and purposes, you're in a blizzard. And your visibility is greatly lowered. You can only see about 30 feet now, and you're going to need to try to navigate during this time. So you have a few moments as you sort of feel the wind start picking up to make any kind of preparations you'd like, and then you're going to be in this wind storm.
I light up my sensor and put it in my jacket.
You light up your sensor?
Yep.
What is a sensor?
The thing
incense.
that you swing back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Burn incense in it.
Yep.
You put it in your jacket, so you got like incense, you got like smoke coming out of your jacket, of your fancy
Like,
jacket.
yeah.
You're like, ooh,
I
so
smell really nice though.
Cleo's like, ooh, sandalwood.
Anything to keep me warm.
I think it's the visibility that's more of an issue, and like torches and stuff don't help because it's snow, so it reflects like fog.
Oh,
I don't know anything else that would help us see.
how about this? And I cast light on one of my crossbow bolts.
Okay.
And
Can't hurt.
You waved it around. Whee! Okay. Yeah,
and
so it's not really. It doesn't really. It's not really cutting through. The wind and snow that is blowing. It's not giving you any more than a 30-foot radius, really, that you can see. It's too much of the snow in the air. It's all reflecting off of that. You're snowblind, essentially. You're going snowblind.
I think you just once again have to truck through it, except was it like a survival check to make sure that we're going the right way?
So in order to keep on track, you're going to need to assign basically a navigator, and that is a survival check from the navigator.
It's +1.
I think I could handle that.
And how are you guys traveling through now? This has not been your day, right? So what do you who's pulling the wagon? Where's everybody else during this travel?
I guess Jordy would be in the front, pulling most of it. So 2 people on the side, 1 person on each side.
I'd be probably up front with Jordy.
Yeah, conducting.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of light.
Kindar, how would you be traveling through here?
Yeah, I would be on the side as well.
You guys are just holding on to the wagon? Yeah,
kind of pushing it along.
Okay, so first things first, Gusto, Cleo, and Kindar, give me a Constitution saving throw as you enter hour 2 without any cold weather clothing.
I got my sensor going. Does that help?
It makes you look really cool. It makes you look really cool, but that's about it.
Yeah, but there's some fire going on inside of it.
Cleo, with a 20, you still have some of that, maybe that potion, that lard on your arms and hands, and so you're able to resist another hour. And Kindar, you focus your mental abilities to find your center, not be bothered by the cold. But unfortunately, Gusto, you succumb to the cold and die. No, you gain no. Yeah, it's a good try. We'll try another character.
Throw him on the sled.
Yeah, so you get 1 level of exhaustion. I should have been more prepared for this. I don't really actually know what that does.
I think it's disadvantage on ability checks.
Yeah, first level of exhaustion isn't bad.
It just gets worse and worse and worse. Right. Sunflower, thank you so much for the 10 months. Sunflower, you can roll a D4 and give it to any of our players. And remember, Zune gave you a D1 tonight, Jordy, so you have an extra.
I do. I wrote it down in my little.
You have an extra 1. So level 1 of exhaustion is disadvantage on all ability checks, which is terrible to happen right before you were supposed to navigate.
Yeah.
So is that still the plan? Would you like Gusto to be navigating here? This is a survival check.
They don't know.
Who has highest survival? I have
tell
a
us.
+2.
They don't know.
I have a +1.
Yeah, I'm 1.
What's your survival?
That's up to you then.
I mean, if somebody aids me using help, would that balance it out?
Am I able to use... I can't use inspiration, can I?
Bardic Inspiration. Does Bardic Inspiration work for an ability check?
I don't know. That's a really great question.
Isn't it? I pride myself on good questions.
Let me see. Ability check, attack rolls, or saving throws.
So you can cast Bardic Inspiration on him, and that would just negate the disadvantage. So he'd just make the roll straight up like anybody else would.
What's your survival?
It's a +3.
Oh, okay. Then yes, I want to do that.
Okay, go ahead and cast Bardic Inspiration, and you inspire him. How do you think you inspire him here, Cleo?
I just go to him and I'm like, remember that feather I gave you back? You can do this. just to subtly remind him that I did something good for him. So hopefully
the wind is blowing by.
Win his heart over again. I believe it. You can do it. And just do that to him.
All right. So Gustav, what would you like to do here? You want to make the check?
I'll make the check. I think the Bardic Inspiration is a D6.
Yes.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, so you'd still make it with disadvantage, but you'd get the D6. That's
Yeah.
right. All right, let's see what the old D6 is here. That was a cracked die there, so it's going to re-roll it. Oh, no, it gave you the 2. Okay.
Lame. Okay.
All right, 15. Let's see what the disadvantage roll is here. Oh, that's better, actually.
All right. 15.
15. All right, you did manage to stay on course, and still storming. It's still windy, but you passed by where you originally picked up the wagon. So you managed to make it back, and you guys are really, really close to Kelvin's Cairn now. It's there. You can even see it through the wind and the snow that's picked up.
Kerkonik?
And then you'd start to head towards the path to Kerkonik because you basically knew right where this place was.
Oh, okay. So we'd be on the.
Yeah, so it was almost like a little dog leg here, Jax. Think of it like you started in Kerkonik, you made it up to where the ingots were, right next to Kelvin's Cairn, and then you headed just a little bit south to where the goblins were, and so you just backtracked, and so you're here now, basically, and then you'd want to head towards Kerkonig if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, it's probably safer that way.
Okay, righty. Well, you continue on walking through this snowstorm, and first things first, this is going to be everybody gives me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I'm proficient in con, so that's even better.
All right. Okay, Cleo, Jordy, and Gusto, you guys are all okay, but unfortunately, Kindar, you failed your save. Oh, right, you make this with disadvantage!
No, that's level 3. It was just ability checks. I thought it was saving throws as well.
Oh, it's just ability checks. Got it. Okay, all right. So you're good. You're good. But Kindar is not. You suffer a level of exhaustion, so you'll now have disadvantage on all of your ability checks. As you gain a level of exhaustion, you can only clear that with a long rest. All right, and I'm going to need another navigation check here. No bardic inspiration this time, so you guys can choose if you want to have Gusto do this check. He navigated you through before.
Can I cast inspiration again?
You can. You just got to keep in mind now, not how many bardic inspirations you have per day. I think it's 3
I
or
have
something.
4.
4?
It'll
Okay.
be okay.
All right. Yeah, you absolutely can. So you go ahead and roll your d6 here, Gusto, and try to... Oh, that's not great.
Womp womp.
All right. This is a survival check as you try to navigate through the blizzard.
I mean, 8.
So a 9, and you begin to, you navigate through, and for the purposes of metagaming, you wouldn't really know because you're doing to the best of your ability. You're navigating to where you think you're going, but you navigate off course. And you actually end up moving a little further away towards Kerkonik, and you get a little bit closer to Kelvin's Cairn.
Oh, wow. Let's keep going.
Yes,
Do you know that we're
You don't even
lost?
know where you're going.
Okay, all right, another hour of travel. Need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw, please. This cold weather travel's no joke.
TPK by the cold.
Oh, Jordy, no problem, no problem. He thumps his chest.
It's the beard. It's covered. It's keeping them warm.
Cleo is not harmed by the cold in any way. Oh, Gusto, that's a second level of exhaustion. At the second level of exhaustion, your speed is now halved. And unfortunately, that same thing happens to Kindar. Your speed is now halved as you suffered the second level of exhaustion. And whoever your navigator is, going to make a navigation check.
With inspiration or no?
If you want to use another bardic inspiration, you can give it to him.
Do you think that we're gonna
Alright.
rest when we get to the town, you guys?
I hope
I
so.
don't think we'd have much choice. Two of
Okay,
us have
then
level
yes.
2 exhaustion.
Then let's do that.
Would I be able to, like, he's exhausted at level 2. Would I be able to visibly see, like, he's not doing well at that point?
Why don't you give me a perception check to take a look and take stock of your party? You've been kind of up front here, Jordy, and so maybe you haven't really been. You're in the middle of a snowstorm. You're not taking a close look.
After a couple hours, like, maybe my party's dying.
Yeah, you haven't really been affected by any of this, so you're able to kind of shrug this off. You're a native of Icewind Dale, so this is kind of you've been out in the cold before. This sucks, but you've been out in the cold.
No.
No, you take a look around and it's just like everybody's got their head down and they're just been kind of trudging forward. You can't really get a sense.
Are there any trees around that we can make a fire with?
No.
Now that we've gone all the way out here, or is that still the same?
You're still kind of now you're at the edge of a mountain range here, and so there's not really you haven't passed through any copse of trees or anything, and you remember Kindar from kind of being in this area before that. There just wasn't a lot here. It was just sort of a rolling hill valley, all snow, some frozen streams, but nothing really substantial to make a fire.
Yeah, at this point, I probably would mention that I can't see very well right now. I'm super exhausted.
You can see that because your like eyelashes are like frozen. There's like snow on there. Somebody else want to try to step up and navigate?
I will, since I have a +2.
Okay, Sunfire, why don't you go ahead and roll a survival check, please?
Damn.
Oh no.
Wow.
So you push on, Cleo. You're kind of out in front now with Jordy and Gusto. I can even imagine you, Gusto, and maybe Kindar to some respect. Like Kindar, I can see you with your hand, like where you were pushing the sled before. Now you're kind of leaning heavily on the sled, moving forward. Gusto, kind of the same story. Just like you guys are, maybe even falling back to the back of the wagon a little bit more, just like kind of almost unable to keep up. Cleo, you navigate as best you can where you think you're going, and you wind up actually maybe through just a bit of that good luck, that bardic luck. You end up kind of coming to a chasm on the edge of Kelvin's Cairn. And it's a little bit more protected from the wind, and so the wind immediately dies down when you get onto this like crag on the side of the base of Kelvin's Cairn, and you start moving up, and it's just almost an immediate relief. Everybody feels you can feel that cutting wind that was just like chilling you, especially Kindar and Gusto. That chill to the bone that you were feeling. It's still bad. And it's still like you guys are still in rough shape, but it's not actively like freezing you to death anymore as the wind dies down, and you find yourself in this sort of gully or crag on the side of Kelvin's Cairn.
Do you guys... Are there any trees around?
Why don't you give me a perception check here, Sunflower?
Okay.
Finally, for the first time, Cleo looks up. You've just been kind of moving away from the storm, right? Like you can just feel like, okay, this is a place where I can go and get away from the storm a little bit. So you look up, Cleo, and you see some really interesting stuff. You're on the on a high path. You can see to your left down a pretty steep ridge, a frozen stream all the way down 50 60 feet down, goes into this like little valley on the side of Kelvin's Cairn. The like I said, little stream with a little tiny bridge at the very bottom. The stream is completely frozen over, and as this goes up to the sides of the mountain, you see, of course, just like standard, rock formations on the mountainside. But as you look a little bit closer, you see that there are some like man-made things here. There's something that looks to be, Cleo, built into the side of the mountain. Let's go ahead and head right over to the map. So if you guys can find yourselves, you're all the way down at the lower right-hand corner. And I'm going to put Cleo out front here. Gusto and Kindar in the back. And so you just got yourself here. So here's what you see. You can see, like...
I can see your name on the map.
Oh, no, you can't. You can't. Okay, so you can... so you can see, like, the natural part of the mountain here, right? This cliff. And then suddenly here, it's just... you can see, like, the very corner of some metallic bars. And here you see two giant gates. And then in this area here, it's still rock, but it looks like it's been, somebody's worked it. This is all like smooth stone through here. And then this area here is, it's like a little half of a dome type building.
Should we explore?
Well, I should mention that this door here and these bars here are this door especially is like much lower from where you are right now. There's actually like a grade downward.
Oh my god, you guys, where are we? Let's go.
Yeah.
See if
Let's
anyone's
explore
here.
it.
Yeah, we definitely need to rest. And get
Let's see
warm.
if there's anyone in that dome there. Someone has to be around here.
What if they are upset that we're here?
Well, they're going to have to get over it.
Okay. I'll try to persuade them otherwise.
Okay, so we're marching order. What are we doing? Where are you going? How are you doing it?
I could go first so that if he's upset, I can just be like, hey, no big deal. Friendly. I don't know.
Yeah, then assume Gusto and Kindor would be in the back. I'd be behind Cleo.
Okay. All right, go ahead and approach, and I'll tell you what you see. So as you get closer to... are you moving towards this object here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you get closer, you can see in the sides of that... Let me turn down my opacity a little bit. These... Gusto and Kindar, why don't you give me an insight check, please?
My passive is 15, if that makes a difference.
Let's see if you roll any higher. You have a passive 15 of like a wisdom? Or
Insight. Because I'm proficient in it.
oh, wow. So, you both nailed it. You guys can see that these little openings on the side, and you recognize those as arrow slits.
Ooh. I'd mentioned that we should probably call out that we're here so that they don't, just start firing on us because we startled them.
Okay.
Sounds like a safe bet.
I could
Right.
always play dumb and be like, hello? Anybody home? Maybe they won't attack me.
Sing him a song, serenade him.
Yeah, I just want to like pull out my pan flutes and just start playing pretty music and see if anyone like comes out.
So is that what you want to do?
That's what I want to do.
Alrighty. Roll for initiative.
I duck down behind Jordy.
I'm 5 feet tall.
Save us, Jordy! Quick, Jordy! Over there!
I just play this really soothing, like peaceful, like song.
If you'd like, I'll give you like a surprise round where you can do a performance check.
Maybe. Ooh, 23. Nice.
Was that your initiative roll?
That was my initiative.
All right.
Do you need me to do a performance?
If you'd like, I mean, you definitely can.
Yeah,
you did
sure.
did start to do the performance, so I don't see why you wouldn't.
I'm +6 in
And
that.
Kindar, is that where you're starting, or are you with the party?
Yeah, I'm a little bit closer to the party. Yeah.
Alrighty, let's talk initial rolls here first. Zund, what is Kindar's initiative?
My initiative is 0.
What did you roll for
Oh,
initiative?
sorry, my bad.
Sorry, there was a lot of rolls there. It's hard for me to keep track of them all.
I didn't roll yet.
Oh, okay. Gusto, what is your initiative?
17.
17. It's a 19 for Kindar. Cleo, what's your initiative?
It was 23.
23. My goodness gracious. Okay, and Jordy.
Gentleman's 8.
A gentleman's 8. Alrighty. So Cleo, you are first to act, and also you have a surprise round. What was your performance check?
17.
17. So yeah, you really feel like you nailed that performance, but you can hear inside this that this guy's is like basically preparing a crossbow. He's going to fire at you. And it's now past the surprise round. You just did your performance. You feel like, oh shit, this guy's going to fire something at me. Round 1, what would you like to do?
Oh god. Okay. Can I see him?
No, you can make out like a slight bit of movement, I guess, like through the arrow slit. So you could theoretically cast something in there. Yeah, I don't see why not. You can't really tell what's happening, but you can see that there's a humanoid in there.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading something really quick.
No
I'm
problem.
deciding between one of these two things. Okay, I want to cast Charm Person, and can I do that? Can I do that with him in there?
Tell me, read Charm Person to us. Tell us about it.
So that's what I was asking, if I could see him, because it says you attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range. Range is 30 feet.
Oops, I didn't mean to put that out there. I just did something in our Roll20 chat. I'm gonna say that no, I think in order to cast Charm Person, you really have to have a good look at somebody, and you just don't have a good look at this guy.
Okay. Okay. I wanna oh my god. I don't know. I don't want him to just like feel like he needs to like murder me. Do you guys think I should just attack him? Should I lure him out, you guys?
Well, does he have
Try to talk to him. That's about it.
Okay.
Well, he didn't really respond well to your song. He just pulled out a crossbow.
It was just, if I heard like in just some random music out in like a snowstorm, I'd be a little worried too.
Okay. Can I just like start singing like really pretty music at him, and just maybe he'll like not be as scared because he hears some like pretty lady singing?
Sure. So you want to like continue your performance?
I'm gonna continue performing, but like with my voice, so he knows it's not some weird random thing.
Okay. All right. Go throw me another performance check.
Okay. Maybe he won't be as frightened. I don't want to just go in swinging unless I have to.
23. You don't sense any change from him, but Gusto and Kindar, you guys are so inspired by this beautiful music over these last basically 2 rounds that Cleo's been playing that you shrug off one of the levels of your exhaustion. Your speed returns to normal.
Oh wow.
Such beautiful music. Wow, that gave me this. I feel like I'm young again.
George's just like, I vote better.
I glare over at him like, "Jeez."
I rubbed your chest, man. I was generous with the nips.
No consent.
Okay, Cleo, would you like to do any movement here?
I am going to. I can sense that he's kind of still hostile.
You don't believe that there's been any change in his demeanor towards you.
Okay, I'm gonna move right behind.
Move back.
Yeah, I'm gonna move back just a little bit because I just start to slowly step back. Like, okay, like, sorry, dude. Like,
Okay.
I just wanted to play for you.
Alrighty, round 1, Gusto. What would you like to do? You're up next.
I think Kindar's up before me.
Was it? So one of you guys got a 17, one got a 19, right?
I got a 19.
Oh, okay. Yep, you're absolutely right. Kindar, you're up.
All right, so that we know that where the slit is, right? So do we see anything on that right side wall? Like, if does he even have a line of sight at us if we're on that right side wall?
Gotcha. So you're like looking through this slit. Is that what you're saying?
Like, yeah, you see how there's the slit there, so I'm looking kind of like above it to the right of it. Like, if you kind of like,
like
hug
here?
that wall there, would he have? Yeah, even higher up, maybe would he have like that a line of sight?
You don't get the sense that he would be able to see you there. Definitely where you are right now, he has line of sight.
All right, so I kind of like think that maybe we should all work towards moving up there, and then maybe try to talk to this guy. So I think that would be safe. I don't like really being in a spot where he can shoot a crossbow in our face. So I would like to move forward.
Okay.
And I can move 3. Let's see. I'll move to right there.
All right.
And then sec.
Here's a sign out front that says, "Get off my lawn." Stay off my lawn.
Yeah, do I see anything like along this wall other than that?
You don't. No, you don't. It's this looks like to be made out of the same stone that you see around here, but this where you're standing next to is definitely man-made, right? It's like a little dome.
So I'm a sage. I have researcher. Do I recognize this sort of structure? Like what type of people could be in here?
Yeah. Roll a Gosh, I don't know. What do you think, Floor?
Knowledge. Well, of course it's.
Yeah, knowledge. Great. Thanks for your help. Thanks for your help.
Let's see.
Yeah. This is definitely like the weakest part of my DM game is figuring out what checks to roll. Go ahead and roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll a history check. Go ahead and roll a knowledge, Bacon. With a 10. Yeah, you can see that vaguely some of this structure looks like dwarvish. Looks like maybe it was made by a dwarf. Dwarven, I should say.
Yeah, maybe can I like yell out to him and see if he responds to us?
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
So I just say like, "Hello there. Do you we coming? We're just trying to look for a way to get back to what was it, Kirkonig. And we stumbled upon here. We're all lost and cold. We mean you no harm."
And you hear like a gruff voice inside Kindar. And he says, "You'll all fall to the sunblight."
He said you'll all fall to the
You'll all fall to the sunblight.
sunblight.
Well, that sounds good. Gusto's like, I'm in. Sunblight, you say?
What
This one sounds good about that.
what is this? What is the sunblight?
So, like, you got to keep in mind that this speech is happening over like a 6-second deal.
Okay, so I don't get more.
Yeah, like you can definitely talk, and if you guys are talking strategy throughout your turns, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I would allow you some metagaming wise, but as far as like talking to this guy, he said what he's going to say to you during this interaction.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. And so did our team hear this?
Yes, you guys all would have heard this.
We all heard this. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna end my turn in protection here.
Okay. All right. You do still have an action. If you'd like to hold an action, you can hold one action to do one thing if a certain circumstances are met. Otherwise, you can just basically end your turn here.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anything here.
All right, Gusto, you're up.
Did he sound Dwarven?
To the best of your knowledge.
I mean, I have heard Jordy talk a lot.
Yeah, he sounds a bit. His voice, like the tenor of his voice, was a bit like Geordie's and other dwarves that you've met in your travels.
Okay, so he's from Jersey.
He's like, "Hey, I'm mining over here."
Dwarvesy.
I would yell out to him. We were sent by the group of dwarves. I can't remember their names. God. Hey, Jordy, who hired us?
Yeah, Jordy, who
That's a
hired
good
them?
question.
Jordy, Jordy, go ahead and let us know.
I don't ask many questions.
Anybody?
Anybody at all? Oh dear. Anyway,
we were hired by some dwarves to come get these ingots. They wouldn't happen to be friends of yours, would they? Or we could, just give you the ingots for some shelter.
and he yells back at you, "Aha, you brought treasure? I'll kill you, and then we'll take your treasure."
No, you won't.
I'm going to take your treasure.
He's like, "Whoa, well, okay then. I'm sorry, I misunderstood."
My apologies.
I will get up there.
Okay, you're gonna step right up to the arrow slit here, Vlor. Is that
How tall is this arrow slit? Like how far up?
this dome is about 10 feet tall, but this arrow slit itself is probably about 2 feet off the ground, 2 to 4 feet. Like starts at 2 feet above the ground and goes to about 4 feet. No, you're not.
I'd like to try and reach in. No, that's not going to work. I'll just do, a thunder wave.
Okay, all right, a thunder wave.
I don't know if this is going to do anything.
And inside the dome, if you could somehow get it in there.
I mean, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Do I feel like if I did a thunder wave, it would cause any kind of damage inside?
Not really. It's just the slit's not big enough.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, can I see in there?
Yeah, you can see in there. So, Gusto, you get right up to the arrow slit, and you're just like, get right up there, right? Like you are in like right up next to this little dome, and you peer in, and the thing that you see inside is a Dwergar, a dark dwarf inside, and he is nearly loaded this heavy crossbow that he carries.
Levitate.
You cast levitate
Yep.
on him.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a probably a con save 13.
All right. Constitution.
Let me just make sure.
Save. These guys have pretty good constitution.
Yeah, well, you know. Let's see. Yep, con save.
Okay, this creature has Dwergar resilience, which means that I have saving advantage on saving throws against poison spells and illusions, and I'm also resistant to being charmed or paralyzed. So I'll roll this con save with
Advantage.
Advantage. Natural 20.
Oh. Well, it was worth a shot.
20 and a 17 there. That's probably the best two rolls I'll have all night long.
I hope so.
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I'm like standing right in front of this.
Yeah,
thing.
and he pulls back this heavy crossbow and fires at you, Gusto.
At disadvantage if he's that close.
Fair enough.
Because the ranged weapons.
Yeah, and he'll miss. He'll miss. I think he would have missed anyway. He'll miss, and he will. He steps back here, and you see like a little door in the floor there. Jordy, you're up.
Utilize my whole 20. Ah, everyone fell down again. Whole 25 feet of movement here. So did you did you realize that it's a Dwergar?
Would I know what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you recognize his gray skin, and you know that he is a dark dwarf, a Dwergar.
I'd probably say like, "Oh, you're a dark dwarf, huh?" Levitate.
And then he missed. And he was like, "No, don't wanna."
Or I feel like Jory knows as a Dwergar, but like Dwergar, fuck him. Because like there's still like like he's shot. Like at first I was gonna try to make peace, but now it's just like a Dwergar shooting at us. Jory's not happening. He's going up. He's going up there with malicious intent. You know, 25 feet of malicious intent. And is this a door or another slit here?
That's another slit, but as you get up there, you do see that there, like, you can, as you get closer, that you can see that there is actually a door here, all the way across.
Alright, in that case, I think I'm gonna double move and use my action to move more.
Okay.
Since I can't really do much else. 25, 25. Is it? Move to there.
Alrighty. That is the end of round 1. Start of round 2. Cleo, what would you like to do?
Okay. And I can move first, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to move here. And then I can see him now, right?
Yeah, you can see him just past Gusto, like through there. You can see that it's a dark dwarf. He would have said too, like Gusto's like, it's a Dwergar.
And are we just trying to murder this person at this point, or should I try to keep him alive?
I mean, he kind of shot a crossbow into our face.
Okay, great.
Tried
So
to.
I'm gonna use my.
He missed. I mean, it was pretty close.
That's a good point. I'm gonna use my. God, I'm okay. Hold. I'm torn between my vicious mockery and my hideous laughter. I'm gonna use. Okay. I'm gonna use my vicious mockery. Right? He's not. You said what resistance he has? He doesn't have psychic resistance, does he?
Not to your knowledge.
Okay. I'm gonna use the vicious mockery cantrip.
Okay.
And I just say to him, "Why are your weapons so small, huh? You even know how to use those? I've seen goblins fight better than you."
Okay, and that's is that a wisdom save or a
Oh
charisma
shit! It
save?
is a wisdom saving throw, or take 1d4 psychic damage, and have disadvantage on next attack roll.
Alrighty, and Vicious Mockery is a spell, so I will still get advantage on this roll. What's the save? What's the
Wisdom.
what's the number? I don't think it really matters because I rolled a 6 and a 2, so fails. So you viciously mock this guy, and I think you do what 1d4 of psychic damage, and he has disadvantage on attacks next round.
Yes.
Kaliska really appreciated your Vicious Mockery there, by the way, Sunflower. All right, 2 points of psychic damage. All right.
Hey, Jesse.
Alrighty, Kindar, you're up.
All right, Kindar.
Yeah, there's a door over there.
All right, so I'm assuming this guy. You guys think he's trying to make a break for that little hatch that we saw?
Probably.
Trying to like alert friends to come up.
Probably.
So Kinder's gonna move here. Can you see him through the slit?
Yep.
Right there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Kindar is going to cast psychokinesis.
Ooh, tell us about psychokinesis.
All right, so you can. I guess I should just skip to what you can do in this instance. You can use this. It's a cantrip, but it says you can use this spell just to lift objects, or you may lift one small humanoid or creature. So I assume he's dwarf, small humanoid.
Yep.
Is that?
Yeah, actually, he's medium. He's a medium,
medium?
humanoid. Yep. Same as Jordy, medium. If he was a halfling, he'd be small.
Oh, okay. Can I cancel using that?
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. Oh, nope, didn't work. Anyway, moving on. No, you could absolutely, do something else. Seems like, God damn it, fish suit, I thought about this for the entire round.
Okay, wait, actually, I have a question. So, the wording of this says I can also I can like move objects or fling an object. Can I move the object that he's holding?
Does it say you can or can't in the spell text?
It doesn't have any wording to say whether you can or cannot. It just says you can lift objects up to 30 pounds worth of objects, or 10 pounds if I want to fling it at me.
Does it say free objects?
Doesn't have the wording free. It just says you can just use it. Alternatively, if you use this spell just to lift objects, you can lift up to 30 pounds worth of objects and move them at will within range.
I think that he would get, like, you could probably do it, but he would get some resistance to it.
A contested check.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a strength check against your spell save DC, Zund. What is your spell save DC?
13.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll a strength check to see. So as you're trying to, are you trying to take his weapon away?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're trying to like rip the crossbow out of his hand.
And then actually, he's is the cross? Would I know if the crossbow is more than 10 pounds or not?
Yeah, it wouldn't be more than you can't imagine to be more than 10 pounds.
Okay. So I'd actually want to just like kind of use it to fling at himself.
Like hit himself in the face with it?
Yep. take his crossbow and smack him in the face with it.
Okay, so I'm gonna contest that with a strength save, and we'll see if he can avoid whacking himself in the face with this crossbow. That's a 14. What was your spell save?
13.
Okay, so yeah, he was able to. You can see it kind of like bending up towards him, but he's able to like pull it back down and resist being hitting himself. Why are you hitting yourself?
Does it come down and he shoots himself in the foot?
Yeah, hits himself right in the crotch as he like overpowers it down. Go! And then Yakety Sax starts playing. All right, Kindar, anything else this turn?
Now that'd be it.
Okay, Gusto, you're up.
Can I see if there's a door over on this other side as well?
On this side?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see it. You don't see one. You only see one here in this back area.
Okay. Guiding bolt.
All right, guiding bolts. It's my favorite soap opera. Let's see what happens first, the cat fact or the... yeah, the cat fact did actually happen first.
Damn.
Yeah, 7's gonna miss. So you miss the guiding bolt, and but you miss it, and the door here just blows right off its hinges. Just blows wide off there.
Thank goodness. I hate doors.
Man, fuck doors. Okay. It is anything movement? Any movement here, Gusto?
Yeah. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Popping up there.
Yep.
Okay. Kindar and Cleo, you see the Dwergar lean down, lift up this heavy like wooden trapdoor, and pop in. Door slams behind him. Now you don't see nothing. And he slides away, and he's gone forever. Slides away, and the door shuts closed behind him. And I think that we're gonna take our 15-minute break now, guys. So we'll leave that. I'll let you guys chew on that for a while. Get something to eat. Take a little break. We'll be back in just a few minutes.